For centuries, people have been trying to comprehend the mystery of the Holy Trinity, as if it's a puzzle which we are meant to resolve, and when we do, we get a prize. One of the great mysteries of our faith is the Holy Trinity. No matter how much we may scratch our heads, I doubt we'll be able to understand it. Let's try and work things out together for a while. Let's see. For years on end, in the Old Testament times, people believed in one God. Leaders like Abraham, Moses, and David believed in one living God, only one person. That's what the Jews believed through the prophets and through their leaders. Of course, in those days, there were other people who believed in many gods. But if God had revealed himself to the Jews as three persons in one, and assuming they understood this, we don't even understand it ourselves, then the pagans would have thought that the Jews also had three gods or many gods. So God revealed himself to the early Jews in the Old Testament as one God, one person. Later on, as time went by, at the times of the New Testament, the apostles, who were Jews, believed from childhood that there was only one person in God, only one God. That's what they had learned from the writings of the Old Testament prophets, and that's what they experienced in their lives. They saw God's hand in everything that happened. He was the God of Abraham, the God of Moses and David, the God written about in history, the God up there in heaven who gave them the moral law, the 10 Commandments, and who created everything. Then one day they met a man called Jesus. For 3 years they lived with him. They saw that he spoke with authority and conviction, and all that he said made sense. They watched how he lived and the way he related to people. He showed compassion for the sick, the destitute, and those forgotten by society. He cared for the hungry and the poor and showed kindness for everybody. When anyone was rude or insulting to him, he did not answer back in anger. He lived his life on a high moral plane, but showed sympathy and understanding for those who were stained and scarred by sin. He taught them about his Father, who was God, and that he was that Son of God. One day, when he asked them who they thought he was, Peter was quick to answer, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." The apostles accepted that Jesus was the Son of God. They saw him perform many miracles, they saw him die and then alive again, and knew he had conquered death and the grave. Time and again they saw him after the resurrection. They spoke with him and they ate with him. It was impossible for them to think or talk about God without thinking and talking about Jesus. They had come to know God, their Father, through his Son, Jesus. To them, God and Jesus were one. God the Father, Jesus the Son. When Jesus was taken up to heaven after the resurrection, the disciples were distraught. What are they to do now? their leader, whom they saw and trusted all these years, had gone. They were afraid, so they hid in houses secretly, wondering what to do next. As promised, Jesus sent his Holy Spirit, the Comforter, upon them 9 days later, after he was raised to heaven. Their eyes were opened and they believed and understood that he was the third person of God. To them, the Holy Spirit was real indeed, because they had experienced the Holy Spirit. Today, many people don't understand the Holy Spirit, but you can rest assured that those early Christians understood him all right. As I said, they had experienced the Holy Spirit. He became such a force in their lives, giving them strength to spread the good news that Jesus had taught them, enabling them to live as Jesus had lived. It is they who handed on to us this mystery that in one God there are three persons: God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Trinity. Thank you for listening. God bless.